If you've ever baked with store-bought vanilla, then you might be surprised at how much better homemade vanilla actually is. The most significant factor is the beans themselves. When you make your own, you get to choose the quality of vanilla beans that you use. Premium grade vanilla beans like these have a richer, fuller flavor than any other commercially grown vanilla beans that you would buy in a store-bought extract. And that makes a huge difference in your baking. Using these vanilla beans from Vanilla Bean Kings, I'm going to make my own homemade extract today, and it is shockingly simple. Oh my gosh. I could smell them through the package, but then when you open it, it's like, oh man. Whew, that's great. Okay. Oh my gosh. Honestly, if you can make a cup of coffee, you can make your own homemade extract. All you do is split the beans lengthways, put them in a jar, cover them with alcohol, and let time do the rest. That's it. So you just split the beans from one end to the other. You can see that this right here, that is where your flavor is going to come from. The best part, the flavor is rich, complex, and way more fragrant than anything you could ever buy store-bought. There are multiple different ways that you can actually make your own homemade vanilla extract, and I've kind of looked at a few of them, and I think the one that I've settled on that I'm going to try today is getting a big jar. I have a 64-ounce ball jar here. I'm going to put all of the beans, all 50 beans in there at one time. I'm going to cover it with the amount of alcohol that needs to be covered. And then 1 or 2 times a week, I'm going to shake the jar just to kind of agitate it a little bit. I've seen other bakers who make their own, and they go ahead and put them in jars individually. But to me, it made more sense to put it all in one jar so you just have one jar to agitate, to shake. These are premium organic Madagascar vanilla beans. And man, I can smell and tell that these are high quality. I've got them all split. I'm going to put all 50 in my jar. I'm going to use this Benchmark Foolproof Bourbon. This bourbon came highly recommended to me by the bourbon professor and his wife. So shout out, thank you. You can use vodka, you can use rum, or you can use bourbon. Each of those are going to give you a different flavor profile. For about 8 to 10 vanilla beans, you're going to use a cup of alcohol. So I have done the math, and for these 50 vanilla beans, I'm going to need about 6 1/4 cup of alcohol. So I'm going to find my measuring. Okay, there's 6, and I'm just going to cover the beans. All right, so 1 bottle was not enough for the amount that I'm making. You do want to make sure that your vanilla beans are covered. If you're using a smaller amount and you have a smaller jar, then you just want to make sure that you cut those vanilla beans lengthwise and in half because you definitely want them covered. Tighten that jar up. So this is going to sit for about 6 to 12 months, and you can use it as early as 6 months, but just remember that the longer it sits, the better it's going to taste. Once this batch is finished in about 6 months to a year, I plan on pouring these into these jars. These are swing top amber glass jars, and comes with these little funnels, and so you can pour it all out into there. These are 8-ounce glass jars. It comes with the whole kit to put the swing tops on, and they seal really nicely. These would be perfect to put homemade vanilla in and send them off as gifts to people. They come with these little stickers that you can put on the front that tells the homemade vanilla, made by, date, and batch number if you have different batches going. Vanilla Bean Kings has sent me a little magnet that tells me all the measurements that I would need to make smaller or bigger batches of vanilla. And they sent me this little sticker that I'm going to put on the front of here to tell me the date that I started it and what alcohol I used, just to remind me how long I have before it's ready. So if you have a darker glass bottle, an amber glass bottle, it would be best to keep it in there. If you don't, it's still okay to use this. You just need to keep it in a dark place. So light will degrade the flavor of the vanilla beans and the alcohol over time if you don't have them in a protected amber glass bottle. So I'm just going to stick this in one of my cabinets, and hopefully I'm going to remember to shake it every week or so. So whether you're baking cookies, cakes, or even sneaking a little splash of this into your coffee, homemade vanilla is definitely going to elevate the flavor. Trust me, it is one of those small steps that will deliver big rewards in your kitchen. And your future self will thank you every time you open that jar. If you've always dreamed of making your own homemade vanilla like I did, then I'm going to put the link for these Vanilla Bean Kings Madagascar organic vanilla beans down in the description below. And if you're looking for the perfect amber glass bottle to store them in or give them as gifts this Christmas, I'm going to link the set I bought off Amazon down in the description below.